I didn't think I looked as good in red as I do. Anytime you can build something, that's what you want to do. And so when this was listed as the first inaugural Vice Chancellor for Enrollment Management, this was like a no-brainer for me. After coming down here and looking at the leadership team and talking to some of the folks that I've talked to, this was a very easy decision, and I fell in love with it. Then, of course, you have to bring your family down. Brought the family down, and they did the same thing. There are many students who have a pretty good idea about what they like, but then they get told, well, no, you want to do this. And I've watched generations do this differently. I can remember my grandparents and my parents tell me, oh, you should go into computers. Well, that was the idea that was put in my head. I couldn't tell you anything about how computer programming works, so, Fortran and all that other stuff that we used to do. What I did was I found out I started taking some history courses and really fell in love with history. Well, I went down and became a history major. So I always tell all of those students who fall in love with something, and even if it is in the liberal arts, you too can one day be a vice chancellor. You just have to find your passion and stick with it. Once you find your passion and you find out what you enjoy doing, and that's what enrollment management does. We're gonna admit you, but once we admit you, we're gonna make sure that you've got all kinds of access to the careers possibilities that are out there. But really our goal is to say, look, we want you to graduate. We want you to graduate with what you want to do. And for you parents out there, we want you to graduate in 4 years. Part of my job is to bring best practices to Arkansas State. Now, what does that mean? I think it certainly does mean predictive analytics. Higher education has been a little slow to go to predictive analytics, even though on a daily basis we find out every time you pull up Amazon and it says, the last time you were here, this is what you shopped for. Well, that's what predictive analytics is in higher education. If we know that when you come to our website, the first thing you do is go into the engineering field or you go to the business school website, my job is to say, here's something else that happened interesting in the world of business, so that you and I start to make a connection about what it is that you want to do, what it is that you like doing, and let me tailor my content and let me tailor my messaging to you so that every time you come up, you're not looking like a brand new person. Once they realize that that connection is made, that's when people start to follow up. People don't understand, people don't understand how quickly they become mentors. They also don't understand with Generation Z how desperately they need a mentor. Every time you meet a student, it could be that student's day and that you have a possibility to make a difference in that student's life. You got to be intentional about that. And I think within the enrollment management world, you're starting to see a lot more programming that says, no, it's not just about meeting the student because they happen to show up to office hours. It is the kind of thing that you give them your cell number so that they can text you and ask you a question, so that they can make those connections. That's going to become kind of the thing, especially for this generation, because they need to be able to talk to you when they need to talk to you. I'm so excited about being down here. This has been, to be able to build something and to be able to work for somebody like Kelly and to be able to put his vision into place has been something that I think is going to be the greatest thing, and Wolves up.